So that's BG Dollars back for another, and today we're going to be looking at market moves, what I see in the markets for the next, say, 4 or 5 working days, how the market's going to play out. Of course, we had a huge day today in the S&P 500, look, up 2.7%. We go and have a quick look at the Nasdaq as well. It should be up here somewhere. There we are, Nasdaq Composite. And that was up 3.11%. Obviously, the Nasdaq more tech heavy, but yeah, tech stocks rebounding well. Now, in terms of technical analysis, because this video is just going to be about the markets, it's going to give a little technical analysis, what I see in the charts in terms of trading movements, price action-wise, and yeah, positive stuff to say, to be honest with you. First of all, please do subscribe because we're on the journey to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'd love to make that happen. So hit that subscribe button. Do smash the like as well because they're both right next to each other. Let's face it. So yeah, just go ahead and do that. Now, first of all, we are at a important resistance sort of band area here at the 393s, the 392 sort of level. Hopefully we can push above this. We've retested it, we came down, we tested it again, we came down, and now we're at that same level. Can we push above? I think we can. We've seen a lot of volume actually come through here, and it's a nice bullish bar here on the daily chart. If we go closer into the 4 hours, this is on the S&P 500, by the way. Look, top left, you'll see the SPY S&P 500 ETF. But yeah, hopefully we can push past this resistance. Of course, we came here, and the reason why we're still in the resistance area is because you see the top of this candle, this wick here. You mark it from the top there, and of course we hit that and we sold off. So we can still hit the top of this band and sell off. So we can't get our hopes up just yet. However, it is positive news, seeing as we have got a double bottom sort of on this trend line. Now, of course, if you've been watching BG Dollars recently, you'll know the stocks that I recently invested in. You'll know that I said on the channel the sort of bottom of the market. Now, if we actually pull up. So yes, if we're talking in terms of the videos I've done recently, 2 weeks ago, am I all in on the markets? The markets hit the bottom about 2 weeks ago. And so far, that has played out. Of course, 2 weeks ago, we were at late June, around here, early July, if it's the 19th today. Yeah, the video came out around this sort of period. The market has hit the bottom. So that so far has been correct, and hopefully we can push on. My aim is this black line up here at the 416 level. This is the next sort of resistance point that we want to get to in the markets. If we can push past this sort of barrier here, hopefully we can. Now, in terms of stock picks, again, let's pull up the channel. Look, I just invested into these 2 stocks, which I'm just going to reveal to you if you haven't watched before, which is Roku was one of them. Now, Roku has been moving kind of strange. Of course, we have pushed out of this downward trend line, which is very encouraging. So that's the good news. We pushed out, we came down, we retested, we came down, we bought all the way back up successfully, we've pushed out. However, the S&P 500 was up quite a bit today, wasn't it? It was up about 2.71% we saw earlier on Yahoo Finance. And Roku wasn't up much at all. There you are, top left, 1.87 percentage points. Now, that's strange. Why? Because Roku is a risk-on stock. Normally, if the markets do well, the S&P 500 does well. You will see risk-on stocks do well, and Roku is one of them risk-on stocks. So you normally see Roku sort of double, maybe even triple the percentage difference that S&P 500 has done. So if the S&P 500 is up 2%, then you think Roku would be up more like 6%. So for it to actually be up only 1.87% today, when the S&P 500 moved up 2.7%, is strange. So that is one that I'm definitely keeping an eye on, because Roku shouldn't necessarily be moving like that. The other stock was Shopify. Now, again, another risk-on stock. We've been moving okay, moving all right. Now, I'm going to explain to you what okay and all right means in just a second. However, the first thing I want to explain is, look, we failed to get below this black line. We've tested it multiple times. Now, what I don't like is this sort of downward trajectory here. Now, I know we've sort of broken out of it now. Again, it's a similar sort of story to Roku, isn't it? Broken down out of the downward trajectory, downward trend line. Now, we have to be looking at this sort of resistance line here. This sort of resistance mark right here. This is the sort of barrier that I want Shopify to push up to, around the $40 range, around the $40 range. And I want that to break out. I want it to go back up to the 50s. Of course, this is all dependent on what the Fed says. Of course, inflation, we have just had a CPI result for June, so we've got to wait for the next one to come out. I think that will be very, very good indeed. I did say the last one was going to be very good, and it wasn't. I was wrong. However, if we look at oil, oil has actually come down massively, and I'm just going to whip up oil just now. WTI crude, of course, this is the American oil. We'll just go for this one. And here we are, look, we're at $97. Of course, we did come down to the early 90s at 91. We have sort of recovered a bit. But again, in general, look at this. We've really have fallen off a cliff towards the last sort of, I'm going to say, month, around the mid-June area. Boom, we have just dropped off massively. We do need to fall below this support area, and I'll draw this out for you. This is the support area that we've got. We need to fall below this support area in terms of oil if we're looking for inflationary pressures to carry on easing up, and if we want a nice July inflation number. So that was just a market update. In terms of news, let's go on Forex Factory and we'll see what's going on this week. Look, we haven't got big news. Of course, I haven't really been actually doing many videos recently. Why? Well, first of all, the heat. It is very, very hot in the UK. Why would that affect me doing videos? Well, it's the summer holidays. All my friends are back from uni. That's not to say that I shouldn't be working. However, I'm willing to just sacrifice some time out of my day to, you know, devote to socializing. Of course, YouTube, I'm not actually earning money from it, am I? This is a long-term goal for me, YouTube, and I will always do YouTube, 100%. But short-term, my area focuses on short-term targets, which is to get the driving license done. It is to progress in terms of career-wise, career options, and that is what my main focus is on today, right now. So YouTube has kind of not fallen by the wayside, whether it's a long term that it's not at the top of my priority list, let's say. So yeah, that is why I might not be uploading too much. And I recently did start work. It's 8 till 5 the hours, so I haven't got a lot of time in the day if I want to see my friends as well. And I'm prioritizing on short-term targets. But enough of nagging about that. I'm sure you don't want to listen to it. But that's just a brief little trajectory why. If we look at some stocks, like Apple was up 2.66%, DocuSign was up 3.2%. You got Google up 4.33%. Now this is the daily chart here. Look, all stocks were up very well. You got Microsoft up 2%. Again, as I said, Nasdaq was up over 3% today, so it was a tech-heavy day, and you saw the tech stocks do well. Qualcomm was up 4%. Autodesk was up 4%. You got Nvidia now back up towards the 170 mark. Of course, we briefly sold out, and we didn't actually finish the day above 170. Very, very close to it, but I'm sure tomorrow maybe we do. However, normally if you see a big green day, the next day kind of is a red day. It's a pullback day. That's what you kind of see in the markets. PayPal again up 4.87. You had Xpeng slightly down there, 3.83. You had Square up, Amazon up. Again, all tech stocks really done well. You had Walt Disney now back up towards the $100 range. Did it briefly go up? No, it didn't go above the $100 range. But to be honest, I think Disney's quite oversold anyway. Salesforce up 3.5%. Again, you had Facebook up 5%. To be honest with you, most stocks were up. I'm just going to go for it. Tesla was up 2% today, back up to $730. That was a good move for Tesla there. Etsy up 3.2%. If we go for the risky whiskies, this should be up as well. These should be up massively. Marathon Digital, I just saw there, up 32%. Huge numbers. Stoneco, again, another one of my investments. Bought in at $8, up to $9.20. That's a nice little 10% sort of move, 10% profit on Stoneco. Of course, as I said on my YouTube, look, I thought the market's at the bottom. I did go very risk on with my portfolio. So far, that seemed to have worked. Corsair up 4.35. Fastly was down 6.07. Let's just fire through these games. About 3.44. SunPower up 1.28. Blue Apron NA. Not sure what happened there, but we'll just fire through many. AMC look, up down 1.33. Actually, AMC down. Canopy Growth up 0.77. You got Roku up 1.86. Again, one of my stocks. Odd because risk on day. Normally you'd like to see that one up more. TDOC up 4.21. You had Shopify up 5.5%. So good move there for Shopify. And I'm glad to see it because obviously it is one of my stocks. Honest up 16.72%. Now it does seem like it was a day for the small caps as well. Small caps making big moves. There we are. Look, Rocket Company's up 4%. Tattooed Chef up 4.6%. Marathon Digital up 32.4%. Look at that, huge move for Marathon Digital. Again, crypto's been performing well. Do you know what? Let's whip up the cryptocurrency chart. As I said, today we're just checking sort of the markets, how they're moving, how I see the sort of future plan. Huge stuff there for Bitcoin. Look at that. We have broken out of this sort of range now. This was the sort of resistance area that was keeping us down. We couldn't really get above it. We tried here again, we did sell off, but boom. We had a nice spike in volume, nice lot of buyers, pushed it up, and yeah, hopefully we can retrace back up towards the sort of on a broader time frame, this trend line, which would be around the 28,000. This is in dollars, yes, so around the 28-30k range. If we can push up to those sorts of levels, that would be great. Again, if you're wanting your next sort of resistance line, boom, this is your support / resistance. We might see a brief sort of hit around this trend line and resistance point. That would be your targets for Bitcoin. Now, as I said, it was just a market day. No real big news on terms of in economics out this week. So fairly quiet week. Markets moved well today. SPY was up 2.7%. The NAS there up 3.11%. Risk on stocks done well. Affirm up 9%. You had risk on stocks do very, very well. I'm actually sweating out. You've probably seen drips of sweat come down my forehead. As I said, it's stiflingly hot in the UK. It's not great, but you know, we like the sun over here anyway. I'm happy, to be honest with you. Yeah, so that's been BG Dollars. Do subscribe. As I said, we're on the target to get 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Hopefully, we'll make that happen. That was the market day today. You've seen where I think stocks will go in the short to mid term. S&P 500 to push up, risk on stocks to do well, continues to do well. I think we've seen the bottom of the market, folks. As I said 2 weeks ago, right here, the market has hit the bottom. Am I all in the markets and the stocks that I invested in, which I do say to my viewers every single time. Please hit a like, comment on what stocks maybe you're invested in. I'd like to see what your portfolio is looking like. Are you risk on, risk off, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that has been BG Dollars. Over and out. I'll see you in the next one, people. See you later.